Hi guys, this is Isabella here and welcome back to the channel. So today's video, as you guys can tell, we're going to be doing another anti-MLM reacts video, and today is going to be a good one. We're talking about the classic, the one, the only, Monat. Yeah, they're pissing me off still. So we're going to talk about them more. So we have a wide variety of things that we're going to be reacting to, messy, just a bunch of stuff all across the board. I'm very excited to talk about it. So before we hop into this video, don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell button down below so that you'll be notified of every single video I post. And without further ado, let's hop into this anti-MLM reacts video. Let's go. So Monat, y'all, Monat, I have had my run-ins with him for a long time. And today we have a decent amount of stuff we need to react to. Oh no, so a lot of these links I was actually gonna open up on my laptop, but I think I'm blocked by every single one of these accounts. Okay guys, so we're gonna be reacting to the first thing that I thought would be great, because I don't think we've ever reacted to something like this on my channel before, but it says Monat from a man's perspective. Monat from a man's perspective. Technical difficulties unfortunately caused us to lose the first half of this live, but so much good information on why network marketing is the best industry out there and why more men jumping in on the game. Thank you for sharing your passion and wisdom with me. Oh, Lord Almighty, let's go.
That was so sad.
You know, just want to keep the viewers on their toes, you know?
I guess we got to be prepared for the technical difficulties in this industry.
Yeah, it's all good though.
All right. Where were we?
Where were we actually?
You were talking about being
about you know, being in going into a women-dominated industry.
Yeah.
How I had told my sister no, and oh, and I had listed everything about like why it made sense to me. You know, that we get to work from our phone, we control our schedule, we're not controlled by an actual space or a boss or anything like that. So all that stuff was great for me. And then afterwards, when I really thought about it, I'm like, this is actually genius. And here's a reason why. We're not talking about changing somebody's lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. It's not like we're talking about, hey, go to the gym, go to this gym now. Because listen, at the end of the day, people could go to the gym. They feel motivated for 1 to 2 weeks, but then what happens? They go ahead and quit. They don't go to the gym anymore, right? Mm-hmm. Versus what we do is we're recommending products. Number one, recommending things, everybody does it. Everybody. I don't care who you are. Female, male, you could be 10 years old talking about roadblocks and then, you know, you got this or whatever, or, you know, 70 or like everybody's recommending things, services or products. But we don't get compensated for it. Versus us, we actually do get compensated for it. Number two, the fact that everybody and their mother washes their freaking hair and they wash their face. You know, like everybody takes a shower. What do you do in the shower? You freaking wash your hair. Everybody does it. You feel me? Like it doesn't matter. And their face as well. So for you bald brothers out there, you also you better wash your face. Like if you're not washing your face, something's up. But it's something that we use every single day. And guess what? After we're done using it, what do? We go buy more. And it's a constant thing. So that's where the residual income comes in. You know, like it's genius. Like people need to like open their eyes and really think about how amazing the business.
My eyes got hella wide there and they were open as hell. And I still know it's a crock of shit. See, okay, I will say, I don't think we've ever reacted to a man on my channel at all before, like in this industry, you know, because it's not very common, as he said. But imagine like your sister walking up into you and be like, hey, so, I know we want to beat the shit out of each other half the time, you know, we fight frequently, but I have a business opportunity for you. I couldn't even imagine asking my brother. He'd literally look at me like, are you stupid? No, like he would never want to do that. So it's a little bit interesting to me. And yes, there aren't men in Monat, but it's just so like, it's so weird though, seeing this perspective of he thinks it's genius. He thinks it's brilliant. He thinks everyone needs to join in. And I do not like this at all.
Model is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not just the business model too, but this company is how it's going global. and how like we literally have our own online businesses to work from home that is global. Like our businesses are global. I think that's the coolest part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned this, I was actually talking to a friend, and he was saying how amazing this is because let's say if I opened up my own business, right, and I wanted to go ahead and do business, for example, overseas, somewhere in Europe, I pretty much am gonna have to go through some crazy steps to get licensed or something like that to be able to operate business overseas.
You mean like what real business owners do? Like what the real people that put in effort, like, sorry, I shouldn't have said that, my bad. The real people that put in effort for like their real business. I know people in network marketing put in effort, but you know what I'm saying? People that put effort into their own real businesses, people that actually make something for themselves. That's another thing that I find is so funny and ironic is they're like, oh my God, buy a starter kit. Like this is, you have your own business, but yet there's so many like lives and IGTVs like this where they literally will be talking down on like, oh my God, if you actually had to do all this other stuff, you'd have to like do this, you'd have to get licenses, you have to file this. And I'm like, yeah, that's what all the people that have immense businesses now had to do. They had to start from the bottom and make something all by themselves. They didn't buy a starter kit, but okay.
You know how much of a hassle and how much of a headache and how much of all this crap you have to go through to even do that? We don't have to do any of that stuff. Like it's freaking amazing, you know?
Or even just to start any sort of business for that matter. Like if you were to start a restaurant, you're putting like tens of thousands of dollars into rent, into getting all the food, paying employees.
Perfect example. She's literally doing exactly what I just said that they do. Talk shit on regular businesses like what people normally do to start. Oh my God.
All that, and you're not going to see a return for probably years down the line until your restaurant is a little bit more established. Where here you can literally buy products for yourself and start your entire business for as low as $200, and you'll have a global business and the company does all the hard work for you, ships everything. Like I like calling this a business for spoiled brats because it's really like so simple.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the fact that you know how you said we really don't have to do anything. Like we don't carry inventory. We don't have to touch the products, like none of that stuff. We don't even have to deal with the back office, meaning like your website and stuff like that. That's already pretty much taken care of. Like there's so much stuff that we don't have overhead, you know, like a monthly maintenance that we have to do, or like, hey, we need to pay for our water or our utilities for the bill. Like none of that stuff. Like we don't have to worry about any of that, you know? So it's genius. I don't know. It's like our own little franchise. I had posted this on my story probably, I don't know, like a week ago or so. But it was talking about how to open a franchise for McDonald's, it costs like a lot of money. And the first year alone, you're not even breaking even or anything like that. Like maybe you're making back, I don't know, 150,000 when you technically went ahead and spent probably like $1 million to even open up that franchise. You know, and then think about it also having to hire employees and all that stuff. It's just, that's such a headache.
It's wild. Like I wish I knew about network marketing.
Oh my God. Doing work that real business owners do? I couldn't imagine. What kind of argument is this?
Before, because that would have saved me a lot of headache and a lot of unhappiness at my job before. And this is just the best industry that I've ever been a part of. And I know a lot of people that are in the business say the same exact thing.
For sure.
So how about like, I know you talk a lot about mindset on your Instagram, which I love. What kind of like mindset do you think you need to have to be successful in this business?
Definitely just be determined. I mean, number one, I always say value your life. I feel like so many people, they value fear over their life, if that makes sense. And let me clarify that. People are so trapped by fear versus living their best life. Like, they are so scared to get out of their comfort zone, to do something different, to be able to see like, hey, things could be possible. I just need to get out of my comfort zone. But people are so like compressed by fear, like, hey, it might not happen, it might not work out, but what if it does? Like, your whole life could change, you know? So valuing your life for sure. Consistency is key. You know, you might not think, I mean, check this out. How many times do we go and we could go ahead and apply to 20 different places, you know, when we're like looking for a corporate America job, and they all said no? What do you think we did? Oh, that's okay, I'm done applying. No, like, you're still going to go freaking apply, right? Like, you have to get a job, right? Imagine if we have that same consistency with our own business or with our own lives, like, where we like.
But like, at least with another job, you know, like, if you apply for a job and if you get, you know, accepted into that job, you're going to get a wage, you're going to get benefits, you're going to get all the good things that you need to have. Whereas with this, where's the benefits? Where's anything that's like going to help anyone actually? This argument is terrible.
Like, even though, you know, people said no and stuff like that, we kept on going, you know? So being consistent for sure is key. Being coachable. I think that's something that's pretty big, because people could come from, you know, a manager position and they might think that, hey, I got it all together, I know how to do it. But in reality, like, growth, personal growth, I mean, the word growth already is there, right? Like, you want to keep growing. Like, there's never going to be a time where you just reach the peak. Like, you want to be able to, even though you're a leader, a mentor and stuff like that, you still want to be able to feed yourself and grow, because now what you're doing is you're able to go ahead and pass that down to your team and stuff like that. So being coachable is something that's huge as well. I think that's probably the three things.
Yeah, I like that. I feel like I'm still learning something new every single day about the business or about myself. And I've been in the business for 2.5 years now. And I'm still learning and I'm still growing. And it's so funny because I thought personal development was like such a joke before. I'm like, I don't need to listen to podcasts. I don't need to work on my mind. Like, I'm a positive person already. I got this. But it makes all the difference.
Okay, so I do want to pause this because I actually would love to talk about what she's discussing, the whole personal development thing. I actually am going to agree with her on this in an aspect. Now, here's the thing. Personal development, I personally was like, this is a crock of shit. I was like highly against that because I think I just got so sucked into that's all these MLMers talk about. That's no, hell no. However, I will say in terms of just regular life, personal development, taking care of yourself, listening to positive things does help. It does. I'm going to tell you right now, I have done more personal development right now, like zoned into it, than I have in my entire life. And I feel so much better and like more secure and like good in myself. You know what I mean? However, that is talking about like everything in general in just life. Personal development is not going to be a make it or break it for you in network marketing, because no matter what, you can be the happiest person out there and be all self-developed and shit, but you're still not going to be able to fight against the odds that are set up against you. So I just think they try and put this, and this out there so that way they have something to blame on and say you didn't do enough of X, Y, and Z, and that's why you failed. Oh, you didn't try. Oh, you didn't do enough personal development. Oh, you didn't do this. I think they need something to blame the failure rates on, and that's why I think this argument exists. Yes, is personal development great? Meditation, listening to podcasts, that stuff is awesome. Love it. When it comes to this shit, hell no.
Listening to a motivational podcast in the morning or listen to business development podcast or whatever, just growing your mind.
Yeah,
all the difference.
100%. And it's funny because I was never really introduced to personal development before. I was talking about this on my story yesterday, actually. How once I stepped into here, like, I was looking for time freedom and financial freedom, and that was really what got me into saying yes to this business. But then I was introduced to personal development, and I was like, what's going on over here? Like, why are you guys trying to motivate me so much? Like, what's going on, you know? And I wasn't introduced until to personal development until this. And it's embarrassing a little bit because, you know, I'm 31 years old, but no other job said, hey, you know, you're worthy enough. Let me go ahead and pour into you. You know, I was just kind of like a number where it's just like, hey, just come in here, do what you got to do and get out, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So, yeah, I mean, personal development is massive.
Yeah, love that. Okay, I think I have just one more question for you. What would you say to any men that are thinking about joining the business?
Do it. Just like Nike says, just do it.
I'm not the biggest fan of this argument, so all right, guys, we're gonna move on to the next one. All right, guys, this next one is a Instagram IGTV that says my story, how our lives have changed in 2.5 years, real, raw, and vulnerable. Let's go.
Okay, awesome. I got a thumbs up. Okay, you guys, so my name is Nicola Nelson. I actually took notes for the first time ever, and I feel really good about it. I am 27. My birthday was like 3 days ago, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm closer to 30 every single day. I am a fire wife, as you can see, Los Angeles Fire Department. I have an 18-month-old daughter, and now I'm pregnant with my second baby, 6 months pregnant, and my husband got his boy. He's so happy. I'm like, oh my goodness, what am I gonna do with a boy? I'm like super nervous. But anyways, you guys, I'm gonna share a little bit of my story and my journey with this business, okay? So me and my husband, we got married at 22 years old, and I was that girl that was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be this like best wife, we're gonna live this amazing like marriage, have all the things. I was so excited, you guys. So we moved into our house, we got married, and life kicked in, and I didn't know what life was like being a fire wife. I had no idea. I grew up in a household where my dad worked in the morning and got home by 6 o'clock at night, and he was home for dinner, okay? I married my husband, and this is not what no, I can't do this. Because we live in Southern California, we live in a gated community, it was way over our price range, and we couldn't afford our life without him working overtime, to be honest. I'm just gonna be totally blunt. So I started working as an esthetician, which I thought I was gonna be the stay-at-home mom, didn't have to work. No, I had to start working as an esthetician because I was like, I gotta start bringing some money in because I miss my husband, I need him home more, I gotta figure things out. So I started working as an esthetician. I started making, you know, a couple $1,000s a month, which still, you guys, we were still barely getting by. When I was at work, my husband was home, it was just a mess. And I was honestly like, what? Like, what am I gonna do when we have kids? Literally, I would have anxiety attacks when I was in bed, just thinking, this is not the life that I wanna live. Like, I can't do this for the next 40, 50 years, you know? So at the time, you guys, I heard about Monat, okay? And I signed up under Krista as a retail customer. I didn't wanna sell it, I didn't wanna become a VIP. I was just a retail customer. I pretty much just went on her website, bought what I thought I needed, and I was done, okay? So I loved the products, and my bottles were empty, so I ended up signing up as a market partner for the discount. Only did the discount, okay? Krista will tell you I was her worst nightmare. I told her plenty of times I am not going to sell the products. I'm not gonna sell the products, I'm not gonna sell the products, I'm not gonna sell the products. But meanwhile, I was watching Krista and her journey while I was a market partner. I was seeing what she was doing with it. She started taking me to little events because my husband worked a ton and I was bored. So I was like, sure, I'll go. Sure, I'll go. I went to every single thing she invited me to because I was just bored. I didn't even care about this. I was like, I don't care about your stupid Monat. I just want to get out of the house, you know? So anyways, you guys, I'm gonna tell a little story, okay? Me and my husband in 2018, I literally remember 2018 New Year's Eve, we went to Big Bear, okay? We go to Big Bear every single year. It's me and my husband's thing, okay? We booked a cabin. We were so excited. You guys, it was freezing outside. We were all excited. It's New Year's Eve. And the person was like, okay, so it's gonna be $500 whatever dollars, okay? Because it's expensive on New Year's Eve. And my husband's like, okay, swipe the card, denied. Literally, that's the worst feeling. Like, you just start sweating, and we're like, it's all good. We got credit cards. Okay, credit cards. Swipe the credit card, denied.
Ooh, okay, so we're starting off strong with the story. So we're starting off with her talking about her living and everything. Now, here's the thing. And I'm not judging if someone truly is trying very, very hard to survive off of everything. But my thing is she mentioned how she lived in an area that was out of her budget. My thing is that seems very financially irresponsible. In my opinion, I wouldn't be doing that if it would cost way, way, way more hours than I could provide at the time, or more time. You know what I mean? I would go for something that would be like, in my budget would work. That just doesn't make sense to me at all. And this is another thing too. If he was working a good job, was working a lot, and then she was an esthetician, how are y'all not able to do at least decently together? I don't know. Again, I don't really know the situation. I just know for me and like my work and my experience, that's what I'm basing this off of. And so that's why I'm kind of like, but nonetheless, another question that I have is, when I go on a trip, I plan ahead. I put absolutely everything on a credit card and then pay it off in the next 2 days because I want to get the points for it. That's, to me, it builds credit. I get points. Bingo, bango. Awesome. Did no one think to check the card balance? I don't know. I'm gonna let this one slide.
Literally, you guys, if I could have killed my husband in that moment, I would have. We were so embarrassed. I was so mad at him. I was just mad. I was just angry.
Why?
I was like, what are we going to do? He's like, I don't know. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have Christmas money in my car, in my Kia, from my grandpa. My grandpa gives us Christmas money every single year. And it ended up covering almost to the dime what our hotel was that night, okay? So I remember when we were in our hotel room that night, I told my husband, I was like, it's so sad. It was New Year's Eve, and we were talking about money. And I was like, what are we going to do? And he's like, I'm just going to have to start working more overtime. And I'm like, no, like, I don't want you to work more overtime. Like, I can't live like this. It was horrible, you guys. Okay, so a couple days later, we get back from our trip. I go to take a nice hot shower, okay?
Okay, for real, I'm sorry, but if your man's working overtime, and if you are an esthetician, and if you guys have no kiddos, what in the absolute hell is wiping out all of your guys' bank? Like, what are y'all doing? Again, if there's something that I'm forgetting, please tell me. Like, please, if I'm just ignorant as hell on this, absolutely tell me in the comment section down below. But I'm genuinely curious because this doesn't make sense to me. And and the reason why I'm saying this is I'm wondering if the story is being over-exaggerated so that way she can give the illusion of Monet saved my ass and it can save yours too. You know what I mean? Your man's got a good job and he's working a lot, and if you got a good job and you're working a lot, you're bringing in several thousand and he's bringing in several thousand. I don't know, man.
Our water heater went out. So I was taking a freezing shower. Go to my husband, babe, what is going on? What's wrong with the water heater? Fine, figures out it's broken. Didn't have any money in our bank account. Didn't have any money to put on our credit cards. We were screwed. I was like, okay, well, I guess we have to wait for your next paycheck. So we had to wait like a week and a half for his next paycheck. I had to take cold showers, which I know, first world problems, but I remember that was when I was like, you know what? I don't give a crap what anyone thinks. I have to start working this business. I have to start selling shampoo. I love the products, and I was like, why not? I'm going to just start telling people about it, okay? So my goal, you guys, was honestly to be able to pay our house payment. I was like, if anything, I want to be able to pay our house payment because that was like my biggest goal. Like, if I could do that, oh my gosh, okay? Well, I got my first paycheck from Monat, and it was $16, and I remember I was so excited, standing in my kitchen, and I told my husband that day, I was like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to be a millionaire. If I can make $16 off of one person, I can do this and I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm sure he thought I was crazy. I thought it was crazy, but I just told myself this, okay? 3 months in, we paid off all of our credit cards. So we probably had like around $20,000 of credit card debt. Isn't it crazy insane? But we paid them off. 6 months in, I hit Market Mentor, which is the Cadillac rank. My husband officially didn't have to work any overtime anymore, which was such a blessing because I was about to have a baby. Just showing you guys some things that have happened during the pandemic. Obviously, me and my husband love to travel. We love to travel, and we couldn't during the pandemic, so we ended up buying a houseboat in Arizona in cash and fully renovated it in cash, you guys. Like, cash. It's not like we had to put it on a card, nothing. We paid for it in cash. On Christmas Day, I was able to buy my mom a brand new car because her car broke down two weeks before, and that's something I wanted her to bless her with. Right now we Our house is almost paid off, and we live in Southern California. During this time right now, we are actually doing a complete full remodel of our house. It's about $150,000 remodel, and we are paying for it in cash. We're also redoing our pool, which is such a blessing. You guys, I'm telling you this because I said yes.
Okay, so maybe that makes sense. You lived in California, one, and you lived in an area you couldn't afford. Okay, there we go. That makes a little bit more sense. Holy shit, insane income claims if we're gonna be honest here, okay, because she's saying this is all because of Monat. Oh, I could do this. I'm spending $150,000 on a house, like on a remodeling. And she says it's not from Monat. She bought, this is so bad. And this is her, like for a Zoom call or something, telling people about her story. Trying to convince people, oh, all because I said yes, all because I did this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God.
Things, okay? Last thing, okay? Like Patrice said, I also got my 1099 today, okay?
Oh God.
I didn't even think much of it. I opened it up and my heart dropped, okay? Okay, you guys. In 2020, I made over $500,000. I'm just gonna be completely honest, okay? For my husband to make $500,000, it would take him 5 to 6 years. Can someone mute themselves? Sorry, it's beeping. It would take him 5 to 6 years to make that with his base pay as a fireman, okay? In 2020, 1 year, I was able to do that, okay? This is what I'm gonna tell you guys. What is that doing for us? What is that doing for my husband? This is cutting his timeline in half of being a fireman, okay? Yes, my husband loves his job. Does he want to do it forever? No, he doesn't. He would way rather be with, our family and spend time with the family than work, to be honest. So that, my pay in 2020 took 6 years off of his timeline working as a fireman. That's 6 years less he has to work. So that is not a story to tell, then I don't even know what to say. But the last thing I wanted to say is if you are thinking about doing this and you think that you can't, just know that anyone can do this. The thing that I love about it is any average person can do this. Any average person. I'm an average person. Krista's an average person. Patrice, every single person on this call is an average person. The only thing you have to do is you have to show up. You have to show up every single day. But if you can show up every single day for 2.5 years and make almost $1 million, would you do it? The answer is probably yes.
That was it. But $500,000. Talk about an income claim. I mean, sure, she has the income disclosure statement, at the bottom, but it doesn't matter. Income claim saying all of these things. Oh my God, this is bad, dude. This is so bad. I cannot believe that was posted. Think about it. If we're gonna be super real here, how many people are on her team that lost insane amounts of money, but she was able to do well? I get it. If you're struggling, that sucks. But getting into an industry then where it's going to lead to creating situations where everyone else is struggling is not cool. That is not okay, man. Why? See, this is what drives me crazy. Some of these girls have motivation, right? They got motivation. Why don't they get motivated to make something on their own? Just do something for themselves by themselves instead of this. I will never be able to mentally understand that. Oh my God, that is holy shit. All right, guys, so last but not least, we're gonna react to a good old classic that I have actually reacted to on this channel before. This is one of the first people in Monat that I've reacted to. It is somebody that uses the phrase, getting chatty in the caddy. So anyways, chatty it's so much more than just a Cadillac is what this IGTV is titled. And so yeah, let's listen to this.
No service at all. So it says that we are telling your viewers or your followers that we're starting this live. Okay, so I want to just hop on into this because I know I'm going to be saving this for people to be able to watch the replay. But yesterday we had a really special event with our company where this whole month or this whole week they're celebrating people who have earned Cadillacs through the company. And maybe I've heard some rumors out there about, and honestly false information about how we have earned our Cadillacs and how they're paid for. And so with having a company car, there are a lot of network marketing companies that offer company cars through their compensation plan. And I want to tell you how ours is a little bit different. But before I talk to you about how it's different, I really want to give you a little bit of insight as to why I got started with Monat. And then I really had this Cadillac was not even on my radar, but really how I needed it in my life and the huge blessing that ended up being. So I'm going to chat with you guys about that. I had a couple of people asking where I am at. I live in Indiana, so that's currently I'm at home. I've been traveling around everywhere, so being at home is kind of a rare thing lately, but I would love to know where you guys are tuning in from. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and drop that in the comments as well. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Amy Sloan. I do some funny videos. A lot of people have found me through my funny TikToks or my funny reels. Maybe you know me because you're a fellow market partner with Monat. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit today about being a market partner with Monat, why I decided to do it, and really how it's transformed my life, including paying for my Cadillac that I drive. And so every single morning, Monday through Friday, I do what's called Chatty and the Caddy. I'm much more consistent with it when I am doing, when we have school and I'm driving the kids to school, and then I get home in my car and I just do Chatty and the Caddy. So it is not as regular now that they are on summer break. But to give you a little insight, I got started with Monat honestly hoping to just have a little bit of extra money to be able to have. And I try not to get emotional telling this story, but it just does. I was in a time in my life where we were struggling in a huge way financially. My husband and I were in a huge debt, and you know, I've had haters or whatever you want to call them, naysayers, ask me, well, how'd you get into such a huge debt? Well, I mean, if you really want to know, we didn't do it on purpose. It wasn't like we were like, yay, let's go into debt. That sounds like so much fun. What happened was, you know, I am a hairstylist. We don't have benefits. My husband had a diagnosis that really rocked our world. It's personal. I don't really want to, that's his story to tell. And we had some medical bills that really were racking up. I lost a little girl halfway through our pregnancy at 21 weeks. And we just had a lot of also bad decisions financially. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We made bad decisions. We bought a house that really we couldn't afford. But at the time, banks were giving you like huge loans and saying you could afford it. And so we built a house that was really, and we were house poor, and all of a sudden we couldn't make the bills. We couldn't pay the bills. We were having our water turned off. We were having our electricity turned. Diagnosis that really rocked our world. It's personal. I don't really want to, that's his story to tell. And we had some medical bills that really were racking up. I lost a little girl halfway through our pregnancy at 21 weeks. And we just had a lot of also bad decisions financially. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We made bad decisions. We bought a house that really we couldn't afford. But at the time, banks were giving you like huge loans and saying you could afford it. And so we built a house that was really, and we were house poor, and all of a sudden we couldn't make the bills. We couldn't pay the bills. We were having our water turned off. We were having our electricity turned off, and we were struggling in a huge way. And I remember I had tried other network marketing companies in the past, and I'm going to be honest with you, I did not understand how network marketing worked.
All right, so I am going to pause this because, again, I think this is very important to mention. That is very, very heartbreaking what she has gone through. All MLM stuff aside, that is still a human being that has experienced some really traumatic stuff, and I wish her and her family absolutely nothing but the best with their health and wellness. That is scary, and I'm so deeply sorry about her loss for sure. I just naturally wanted to make that clear. Oh my God, that's so sad. So I will say I will be sending prayers her way for that.
Don't think I had chosen the right companies. I thought network marketing was a scam. I was like, okay, I've tried this before. All these girls saying that it works. That's a bunch of bull crap, because I had tried it, and for me, I didn't think it worked. That was 3 companies, 3 different ones that I tried. And I ended up spending way more than I ever made. But I will tell you, hindsight, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't recognize or realize that I had opened a business. I didn't think of myself as a business owner. I just thought I could pop up some sales on the internet or pop it up on the shelves of my salon and they would sell. And that's not how it works. You have to actually work the business and be strategic about it. And I didn't get that. There were also a lot of quotas and contracts. And so I just didn't like some things about those businesses, and some of those things made Monat significantly different. There were no quotas, there were no contracts. And so like for me at the time, I was working 3 jobs, and I needed something that I could work into the nooks and crannies of my life that didn't require a lot of time, but I also needed something that was a low investment, and I needed something that was consumable, something I didn't have to have parties, something that would give me residual passive income. And that's where Monat came into play. Now, I will be honest with you again. I tried the products, I fell in love with them, but then I found out it was a network marketing company, and I said no. I was like, no, not doing this. I am not interested in getting into one of those again. I said no. You guys, I decided that despite the fact that the product was phenomenal, that I wasn't going to do it. And it took a few weeks of, you know, honestly having this feeling in my gut, like, man, Amy, like, you've tried everything. Do you guys want to know what the definition of insanity is? Doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's what I was doing. I was working so hard. Trying to make ends meet. And I wasn't working. I was literally missing my kids growing up. They were being raised by my family members, luckily, but I was missing it. And I was tired of it. I was tired of being overworked and underpaid. I was tired of living my life in constant struggle. And so I remember going to my husband and saying, I want to try this thing. I think it's something that I could do. And I remember him looking at me like I had 4 heads, like, Amy, you've done this before. What in the world? Why would you do this again? And I told him like, these products are amazing. I think they're really onto something. They're the first in the entire social selling space to have hair care as their primary offering, and they're doing it well. We have clinical studies, all of the things that like really pulled me in, and I understood hair.
Okay, so I'm going to stop this real quickly. So she's coming with the perspective of she was struggling real bad. She first said no, then after she said yes, and the reason she said yes was the products were so phenomenal. There's clinical studies to prove everything, and she's a hairstylist. Well, Again, I actually believe I've seen this before. The clinical studies, I don't think they can actually say that anymore because a lot of that stuff was proven to be false. Again, I'd have to look that up one more time, but nonetheless, on top of that, the products are not all that. They truly are not. In fact, there's many times where Monat has had to reimburse so many customers because of false claims and problems with their product. Like, there's just a bunch of issues going on with it. And I've even tried some of the products, which I will have pop up right over here. I tried a bunch of their products and they sucked. Like, they sucked. The ingredients are not that unique, not that special whatsoever. They just are not that good. So it's not something that was just revolutionary whatsoever. They were just a network marketing company that were younger in their years, and that's how they start picking up and blowing up was, you know, the early stages of those MLMs, or if you get in early enough, you can really blow up because if there's fewer people to, you know, join underneath, you're going to have to be plugged underneath somebody, and that's how it went.
Care. And honestly, I've learned more about hair care since joining this company in the 17 years that I've been a hairstylist. And I was like, I really feel like they're onto something. Everybody uses shampoo and conditioner. I just have to show them. I have to introduce them to a product that works better. It's consumable. It's going to go down their drain. I don't have to send them a catalog trying to convince them to buy another bag that they don't need. It made sense to me. Beyond that, I checked out the compensation plan with over 10 different ways to make money. Beyond that, I knew that I could recoup my investment really, really quickly. And I knew that was important in our life, because we didn't have just the extra money sitting around. And so he wasn't really on board, but he said, okay, if you can come up with the money without touching any of our, you know, our budget or anything that needs to go, like the non-negotiables, then yeah, I'll support you. So you guys, I went to work and I shared all kinds of stuff on the marketplace to sell. I had some garage sales. I painted some extra furniture because, like I said, at the time I was working 3 jobs, painting furniture, cleaning houses, and working full-time in the salon. I was busy. When people say I'm too busy for that, and I'm like, you know what? My first question to you is, does your busy bring you joy? My busy at the time didn't bring me joy. I hated my busy. I missed my family. I hated that I was working so hard and still struggling. My busy did not bring me joy. So I knew I needed a change. And so if you're sitting there and your busy is not bringing you joy, I want to ask you, why haven't you decided to change your direction and change your narrative? And nothing's going to change if something doesn't change. And so I went to chat and I said, I got to at least give it a shot. I got to try. And so within 2 weeks, I saved the money to try it, to buy my product pack. And I went balls to the wall. I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but my husband said, just don't lose the money, Amy. We can't afford it. So I did. I went all in. And all I did, when people say, how did you do it, Amy? How did you make the money in the beginning? You know what? I don't know. All I know is that I was so excited about sharing a product with other people that I loved. I just talked to everybody. I didn't care if they thought that I was crazy. I didn't care that they were like, oh, she did another network marketing thing. Those things were in the back of my mind, but I had to push them to the side because my future and my family was on the line.
Okay, so again, I do want to stop this and say it's honestly very, very sad to see just another example of somebody that was so desperate for something and preyed on by an MLM. You know what I mean? I don't care if like her upline, for example, didn't know her story at the time. She was still preyed upon because she was in desperate need of something. And while yes, from what we can see, she has done very well with this, it's sad to me because there are many people with similar stories like this. You know what I mean? There's people right now even that are in the same spot that she's in, but they're going to literally work their ass off and not get anything in return. But she's going to reap the benefits of that. And I feel bad for her, but at the same time, it's very upsetting because it's like another person's going to get screwed over though because of this story.
You guys, so I made back every dime that I invested within the first 2 weeks. These are the 3 things that got me there. I've taken time to really figure out, okay, what got me there? Why did I achieve success like I did? 3 things. I was coachable. I knew that there were people that had done this before me and they made money and I knew it was possible and I learned from them. I was like, tell me, teach me, I'll do it. Tell me what to do and I will do it. Anybody else out there, just tell me what to do and I will do it. So that was me. Second thing, I was committed. I was committed to this. I was going to give it my all. I couldn't afford losing the money. I was going to give it my all. Third thing, I was consistent. I showed up every day like it was my job because guess what? It is. It is my job. That's the thing. It is my job. If you were to come into this, you can run it part-time, you can run it full-time, but you can't just run it sometime. Imagine if you were in a part-time job and your new boss was like, hey, when do you want to work your hours? And you gave him the hours, but you were like, oh, you know what? That doesn't work for me that day because I'm feeling a little tired, not feeling it today. So I'm not going to be showing up for work. You'd get fired. You wouldn't make money. It's the same thing with this. If I don't show up for my business, if I'm not talking to new people, showing these products to new people, following up with my customers, helping my market partners, if I'm not showing up for my business, then guess what? I'm not going to make money. Just like any other job, part-time or full-time. So I was coachable, I was committed, and I was consistent. If those are 3 things that you can do, then that means you can be successful in this. I truly, truly, in all of my being, believe that.
That's what's so upsetting too. Is like, I really think that she does believe it though. The sad thing though is like, not everyone's lazy. You know what I mean? People can be coachable, consistent, and I don't even know what the other one was. So many people can do that. And I just don't think that 90% of people that join a company like this are just failing because they don't absolutely try. I truly think so many of them give it their all, but I just don't think that they're capable of getting there because it's just set up to screw them over. But the problem is when they have arguments like this of, oh, if you're coachable, like if you do all these things, like I know you can be successful. So many people have done that. What's the excuse now? If they've done everything and then they still don't get any benefits or anything at all, like, what's the argument? All right, guys, so that was actually it for today's video. Please comment down below and let me know what you guys thought about today's reactionary video about Monat and all the craziness. Please, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I love you all so much, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Stay glowing, my beautiful queens. Love you. Bye.